One of the things we've learned in the past few months is that you just need Wi-Fi and a laptop and you can really work from anywhere. This also means that you can work with anyone from anywhere. So having a global mindset is a key skill in adapting to the future and the present of work. How do you do that? Here are three of my top tips for cultivating a global mindset. The first one is to know your own cultural biases and preferences. What are they, and how do those translate into the way that you work? I'm an American. I have a low context cultural communication style, which means that I'm direct, to the point. I don't want to chit chat. I want to just dive right in. Now, my first job overseas was at a dispute resolution firm in Dubai, and I was in charge of membership. A Yemeni lawyer called me one day to check up on his membership application, and I didn't have very good news for him. I had noticed that this firm wasn't approving applications very quickly. In fact, there was a years-long backlog, and I told him so in a very direct way. I thought I was doing him a favor. Imagine my surprise when he was furious with me. I couldn't figure out what I'd done. I was just telling him the truth. But I quickly backpedaled, realizing that my direct communication style wasn't what was needed here, and I knew how to talk to him. I had studied Arabic, I used a little bit of it. Went a long way. I told him, Inshallah, sir, your application will be improved soon. And if it isn't, you can call me anytime, and I'm happy to give you a status update. By the end of the conversation, he called me sister, so I had been able to save myself and to repair the relationship. I also learned a valuable lesson. Sometimes my tendency, my cultural bias towards more direct communication isn't going to be influential to the people that I'm talking to, who might be from another place with a different communication style. The second tip is similar. Know your strengths. And how do those play out with the local culture? One of my strengths is that I'm an activator. It goes along with my communication style. It means I take a great idea and I want to get to work on it. I want to put it into action right away. No chit chat. Now, most of the places that I've lived and worked, things are a little bit different. People want to drink a lot of tea before they get down to this big project plan. And I've learned to adapt to that. I know my tendency is to want to get started right away, but knowing the culture and how that tendency plays out, I can take a break, have some tea, slow down a little bit on the process in the beginning, and we'll be off to a way better start once things go. The other strength that I know I have is harmonizer, which is great because this complements my activator tendency. I want harmony, and so I do want to understand what my colleagues are like so that I can approach work in a way that doesn't cause any conflict. So know your strengths and know how those reflect and or contrast with the local culture is key. And this could be organizational culture. It could also be culture outside of the office doors. The third tip, and one of my favorite, is to cultivate curiosity about the culture that you're working with or in. How do you do this? One of my favorite ways is, like I said in another video, read fiction. Not only does reading fiction help strengthen and build your empathy muscles, it also helps you gain valuable insights into cultures that you just won't get from even a non-fiction book. Reading fiction gives you insights into people's inner lives, their hopes, their dreams, their tragedies, their comedies. And it can be such an entertaining way to read and learn more about a culture. When I moved to Pakistan, I noticed there was something different in the way that people were addressed. They had 3 names, their family name, but then 2 first names, and they usually went by the second one, and I was so confused by this, but I noticed there was a pattern in the first names. They were very common in most people. I asked my team to explain this to me. They had no idea how to really explain it. And it wasn't until I read this collection of short stories that explained this was an honorific, and it helped me to understand which each honorific meant and what that background was of each person based on these names. So I was really grateful for that insight that came from reading fiction. Another thing along these lines of cultivating more curiosity is to dive into the memes. get on social media. What are people laughing about? What are people talking about? I like to follow the local celebrities and read the gossip and read the comments on their local scandals. And it also gives me something else to talk about with my colleagues than just work. And it's very interesting to see what dramas play out in each country that I've worked in. And all along these lines is also reading customer reviews. I used to work in hospitality, so reading customer reviews of local restaurants was a really great way for me to know more about what people valued out of their dining experiences, and that really helped with marketing and product development. If you work for a company that manufactures and sells a product in another country, reading customer reviews is a great way to gain insight into customer experience, what their preferences are, can give you great insights into marketing and just product design from the beginning, making sure that that global mindset is there. If you enjoyed these tips, stay tuned for the next video that will be for leaders and teams and how to cultivate a global mindset on your team or in your organization.